Other four chese misanso mamu nyina akwa ba e de Ghanatube breaking news kese e na betodwa efi yankase ye former chief justice Gertrude Tokonu ni office e na betodwa mesbeji nyina brew e wo Ghanatube. Other four mo be kai kane no time na eye yankasa ye chief justice no Gertrude Tokonu no ye chief justice of the Republic of Ghana no obekai Tadio sorry Tadio sorry ono ye petitioner no amanfo no mo de petitions ekọ editie Gertrude Tokonu no ono eno yo mo lawyer ono no waba abonten na chese ode nsema ahodo abeto abonten ekwan a chese ye maame time no mo wo court no ekwan ode ne fa so o mane nkasa nsem bebre orofo story wey dia wuti a wangasa wuyem ka be hyew nyaso ne tie nsema ekoso eye petitioner nankasa and lawyer Tadio sorry and waba abonten or the yangasa ya maame Gertrude Tokonu ne nsem nyina betu abonten nienti a omo fa sa kwan no so process no mo de fa so a omo de yie no ene ne nsem nyama bi ma oye okota na nso eni anas emfa mra kwan so no odofo me saka ni nyina mo manko ni enko tie sa lawyer no ni embra gisi ya Ghanatube so.
Whatever you want to ask me about it, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've had some kind of a tiff with her in terms of how she handled certain things, or handled you in the Supreme Court.
Sure.
Where is the legality lies in the fact that the motion paper invokes the jurisdiction of the court. And if there is an irregularity on the face of the motion paper, which I am pointing out as the foundation to which I am not accepting what he has found.
No, hold on.
Yes.
Which motion paper?
His motion for injunction.
The man is not seeking. Hold on.
Yes.
Whenever I start, stop.
Oh. Once there's an objection taken to it, you cannot overreach that objection with a proposal to amend.
Hold on.
So that's all I'm drawing the court's attention to.
Stop there, Mr. Stop there.
Yes,
stop there.
Yeah, something like that happened.
Yes.
Can somebody watching say, oh, then maybe Dad had something personal against her to begin with? So
not really. To be honest with you, even in the High Court, I had those parties with her, several of them. But right afterwards,
you move on.
As lawyers, we move on. But these were issues. I just drew your attention to it because of the fact that if anybody thought that I needed to be influenced or I needed to be motivated politically to do this, that doesn't even make sense. Because as a person, I had every reason not to be happy with her. And my client had reason not to be happy with her. So did we need the president to come and tell us that? And in fact, I'm sure that if the party in power wanted people to petition against the Chief Justice, they would have had them. I am told that even after the first 3 petitions were sent to the committee, several others followed. Several others followed. And
petitions followed.
Yes. And I will be interested in us getting to know what they were about. It will be important for us to know. So people are able to distinguish between what is political and what was really meant to also enhance an arm of government that is supposed to deliver for people what they expect, justice. You know.
Were you surprised that there was this political angle of the whole thing, as you've said? Did that surprise you? Because even in the article that you wrote, you were sort of implying that, hey, this is the law. It's been on the books. Did that surprise you?
It didn't. What surprised me were the kind of people who were speaking. Because we all have our biases. And as I sit, I have my biases. But when things come out into the public, and if you serve the public in a particular capacity, lawyers have a duty to the public. You have to be discerning enough to know what to put out to the public as what the public should expect, or the standard they should expect of you as a professional. and what you are putting out there based on your personal proclivities. The two are different. So I found certain statements made by leaders and by lawyers I respect quite disturbing.
I'm very sad about it. It has really saddened me. And maybe in a way, I feel very distressed by it. Yes. The sadness is about the whole process. My sadness is because as far as I'm concerned, it was a very unnecessary. We have been taken through a very unnecessary situation, and which
Hi there.
As far as I'm concerned, and that is my honest and candid view, this has so weakened the institution of the judiciary. And are these and these are not so, to me, they lack the gravity. They lack the gravity that would lead to a grave outcome, such as the removal of the head of an institution of justice. I've deliberately phrased myself that way. It trivializes the position.
I didn't think they were being honest in the manner in which they approach it.
Could you give an example? Or
the clearest example is the manner in which the removed Chief Justice herself handled the petition. The law is very clear that these matters are supposed to be in camera. You should handle the proceedings right from the petition up until it is over.
In camera.
In camera. Now, on the base, right from the beginning, you write letters, copied so many people, had it circulated in the media. It had to take a rebuke from the president to remind you for the first time that I don't like the way you are handling this, because it's supposed to be handled in a particular way. That didn't deter her. We start the proceedings. You go out in public. You are telling the public about the proceedings and how generally you are not safe and you are not comfortable with the proceedings.
In order to address the troubling violations of the Constitution and illegality of the proceedings that have become obvious to me, that became obvious to me from the beginning of the process. I started an action in the Supreme Court. I applied for the proceedings of the committee set up by His Excellency the President to be held in public, so that in the interest of transparency and for the truth in the matters being raised to be made known to the people of Ghana. I did so because I knew that the secrecy of the proceedings for removing justices was not created in the Constitution as a cover-up for any agenda.
If I were your lawyer, I would advise you to boycott it, because you had no confidence in the proceedings anyway, because you believed that it was going to lead to a particular result. Then during the course of telling people what you should not be telling them, nobody says no, you've gone overboard. First, you start by your letter, which you circulated in the public, and the president drew your attention to it. Now the proceedings have started, and you are still talking. No lawyer up to date has said this Chief Justice had gone rogue, and definitely rogue. If she was not removed on the grounds of this, these were grounds to have removed her, because she was plainly acting contrary to the Constitution.
Before you continue, why do you think that no lawyer was bold enough to point this out? Why the silence?
It speaks to a particular culture. First, we have these alliances, and people are blinded by those alliances. And I'm saying that it still doesn't help those who align themselves in a particular way, because for a person who acts like that, you are thinking about an institution that should protect you and I. So regardless of how you align with the person, issues will definitely arise in which you will take positions that will affect you adversely. So, first of all, it's based on our alliances, it's political. So, this woman was appointed by a particular government. She's being removed by another government. So, regardless of the merits, because we don't want the government which is acting to look credible or to show that this person who was appointed by another government was not the right person, we just need to take a position.
What we know is that there's a sinister and diabolical plot firmly underway to tighten the president's grip on power and prolong his days in office. So they knew that the firmness of the Chief Justice will not allow this. So they started to unleash the attack dogs on the Chief Justice to try and clear out of the way so that they will have their way.
And some of those who were speaking were those that the public knew were direct beneficiaries of her indiscretion. Direct beneficiaries of her indiscretion. One of the grounds of the petition related to the manner in which she handled the minority leaders' case in courts.
That was in the petition.
That was in the petition. In fact, as we speak, it was in the petition of another party. That matter cannot be defended in any way, because in that her ruling against the speaker, she lied against a protocol that you had established with the speaker only because you wanted to reach a particular conclusion. If that was an accident, the events preceding the ruling showed clearly that it pointed to a particular thing, whether it was innocent or not unintentional, to the extent that ordinary people can read and understand that no, this cannot be right, because an application is filed at 12 o'clock. By 2, you get a full panel to hear an application, which by every rule in the book must not be granted beyond 10 days. Then you say it's granted until the final determination of the matter. And it's on a Friday. Parliament is on Tuesday. You could have told them that, look, you know what? Let the speaker be notified and he should show up here with his lawyer on Monday or Tuesday. And let's give them a short hearing and decide whether we should grant it or the extent to which we should grant it. There was no urgency about it in a way that justified the manner in which she intervened. No way. And to talk about the fact that even in the ruling, you could say, oh, my circular said this, but the speaker misunderstood it. It was disturbing insofar as I'm concerned. And so many other things. So nobody could tell her up to date that she herself had also not conducted herself in the right way. That is where I see that we are in trouble.
Yeah, we're in trouble. Where does the nation move from here? I mean, if we're able, and when we talk about the Ghana Bar Association, you're talking about lawyers, learned people who are supposed to be up and doing, you know. So when nothing scares me more than silence from the bar. So if this has to say anything about the bar, they keep silent because of alliances. Where are we heading?
I wish I didn't have to speak about this, but the bar hasn't been silent. Only yesterday, the bar and the Attorney General literally crossed swords on the same point.
Okay.
Because the Attorney General said, look, we've had instances of such removals based on the same constitutional provision. At what point in time did the bar realize that that constitutional provision required clarity? Is it because a particular person was involved? And as for the argument that, we are dealing with the Chief Justice, not any ordinary person. It's a mentality that educated people should not even sow in the mind of anybody. Because we all are equal before the law. And if the Chief Justice occupies such an exalted position, deserving of respect, shouldn't she carry herself in a manner better than every other person? And let's talk about it. The Electoral Commission is a very important, it's the most important institution insofar as our democracy is concerned. That is the institution that crowns your president. who appoints the Chief Justice, without which you cannot be Chief Justice. So why are we diminishing that position? That constitutional provision was applied to a particular person. And we all kept quiet. The bar didn't know at that time that was Article 146. So the Attorney General says, oh, why have you been silent? If all of a sudden you are speaking about this in connection with the recent occurrence, you've woken up too late. You must first accept responsibility for waking up too late and give us an explanation as to why you are waking up at this time when you should have been waking up earlier.
Because it happened before.
It's happened several times before. In fact, the first person it was applied to was a man called Opong, Dr. Opong, in the NCC. His grounds were that he didn't see eye to eye with his boss. The deputy, he was a deputy. He didn't see eye to eye with the head of the institution because the head of the institution had given an instruction and he disobeyed it. That was how he got removed. In fact, since then, we've had several chief justices. Georgina Wood eventually made rules to govern commissions of inquiry. If there was a lacuna, she became chief justice. The removed chief justice became chief justice, spent her time making unconstitutional rules of courts instead of focusing on Article 146, based on which she was removed. So we waited, others got removed based on the same article, and all of a sudden, you are being affected. Rules have been crafted, let's follow those rules, and the rules are suddenly opaque, and they are not well applied. It is not too clear. And Ghana Bar Association speaks. Even yesterday, they said the same thing. Still didn't answer the point as to why they've been comatose from that time up to now. And I'm a member of the Ghana Bar, proud member of the Ghana Bar Association.
Why have you been comatose? Speaking now for the bar.
I would accept responsibility for that, and I expect the bar to accept responsibility for being comatose. But I wasn't comatose.
Out of four, when you're breaking news, I bet to draw. Mr. Medini in our Ghanatube concerning the removal of Gertrude Tokonu in 7I Bebre. Just say, Tadi, you're sorry. A petitioner and a lawyer. Yes, see, a man or Casano. Yes, see, time now. Ye did not send Nimponu. Na emra quine sono, and you quine say, mammy. I didn't send the crab barbonting. I was saying, come maybe beer indoor no. Or no one will break his rule or this answer in a barbonting. Ye born coco, Nina went here, say a month for answer another petition. As answer the born. It is our petitions now. Ye de co born no, and your non quon. Ye see other ones so as I become Naya mammy obun rabbe brain so and in tea, just said Sansa when you not buy no. Not just said she's doing everything possible to defend herself, but now on use constitution ye. Onankasa ebu imrane so ena chese sansem we nyina atuna mesu beje ni nyina bre Ghana chirofo yesi they removed or sacked Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu no kwan ye de fast no dey deserve because onankasa no bu sa imrane so for when you breaking news abeto jam mesu beje ni nyina bre Ghana chirofo me repeat say mobile like no subscribe no share no my notification bell so man say the bear bring your BB drop content say ya wo when you tempan watch me tell for aha and I'm been saying na be see Ghanatube so makra mu nyina bedamu nyina se bebre